your desire is to commit, and that's another word that's there. The commitment has to be there. So when you start establishing your goals for 2019, we need you to have your desire in place to get to the why. So whatever that why is that you've really said on the post-it notes or on your visor, I'm doing this for this reason. You need to now get specific. You need to lay down your desire, have all the faith in the world that you can do it. That's another word that I love, the faith, the belief that what you're doing you can accomplish. And then you're going to put your imagination to work, and you're going to figure out how you're going to get there. And it doesn't matter what you write down, because ultimately, if you can believe it, or if you can even think of it, it is possible. If you can imagine, and that word is a great word, if you can imagine what it is you want to accomplish in your goals, your subconscious mind can get you there. It's a real study that's been done by some of the best scholars in the world, Bob Proctor and other major people, like, of course, Napoleon Hill, Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins. It really comes down to lining up your ability to use your enthusiasm, your belief, your imagination, and your desire, and put it all together in your faith that you can accomplish what you are set out to want to do. And that why will start becoming a detailed description of how you're going to get there. That's your goals. Your goals for 2019 are going to be the more specific version of your why. That's what we're touching on tonight.
Well, and I think your goals should be well balanced, realistic, and align with your values. I remember I got on a three-way call with a woman one time, and I asked her what her goals were, and we were just talking about realistically starting in the business, and she says, well, I want to make $1 million in a month. And I said, well, wow, me too. But I mean, you actually have to have a realistic goal that you can actually achieve. So I asked her at that point in time, how much time do you have to dedicate to get to $1 million in a month? And she says, well, I don't know. I don't have a lot of time. And I said, well, how many hours are you going to dedicate to it? Like, these are the things we're talking about. You need to schedule it. And so for me, success comes in good habits. So good habits are going to get you to your success. And your good habits are part of the consistency. Some of the best ways to find out good habits is to get rid of some of your bad habits. So I think it's realistic to get rid of some of your bad habits, choose some of them right off of the top that you want to get rid of, and choose to do so actively in your mind. And so I'm going to give you a couple of, it's easy to say bad habits. So what's an example of bad habits, Nancy? Well, negative thinking. Negative thinking is a terrible habit. And don't think that it can't happen to everybody. It happens to everybody all the time. It's just having the ability to power through it and get over it. Because, I mean, negative thinking can be brought onto you by other people all the time. It's not even always just you. Another bad habit is squandering time. We all do it. We do it even when we think we're actively working the business. You can squander your time with technology and social media and texting and emails, and poof, all the time that you had to actually be active has been spent squandered. Because unless you're doing something where you're prospecting, you're kind of squandering your time. So that's another bad habit you can get rid of. Postponing your personal health, which would be eating well and exercising. Those are really important things. Don't be a people pleaser. It's a bad habit. I know that it's really hard for a lot of us. I was a people pleaser. I was a total yes man. And there was nothing more empowering than getting rid of that and stopping that and realizing that I was important too. Another one that you guys are going to have to get rid of is thinking you're always right, or that you've always got the right answer, because people aren't going to like you that way. We just recently, on the way home from FlimFon, listened to
Dale Carnegie's tapes all the way back, and his biggest thing is even if you're right, do you have to be right? Is it going to be successful in your business to create that discomfort of having to be right? It's just way better to be agreeable and say that you'll look at the facts. I'm not telling you that if someone tells you something's purple and you can see it's purple or something like that, nothing obvious. I'm just saying
the little things where some of us get caught up in that we always have to know the answer or we always have to be right. It's just how to win friends and influence people is one of the number one ways is to be a little bit humble and charming.
Yeah, and seeing things from their point of view more so than from yours. So for you to set your goals, it's, you know, a big picture of where you want to go and why you want to get there. But, you know, some of the things that you're going to have in front of you are going to be your emotions that you're going to have to get out of your way. And as Nancy's talking about habits, it made me think about negative emotions that can cause you to stay away from your goals. And, you know, some of the 7 major things that can get in your way is fear. You know, being afraid. I mean, just so you know, those of you that are on this, that are in our 90-90 Massive Action Challenge that we started on the 20th of December, we're seeing such incredible emotion inside there of thanks and appreciation, gratitude, because they're becoming accountable to a group of people that have their back. And you know, don't be afraid that you can make yourself look silly in anything you do, because the only person that looks silly is the person that thinks you're silly, because they don't see what you're doing. They don't understand why you're doing it. And they don't know how big your desire is and how your imagination is letting you do what you need to do to get to where you want to get to. So stop worrying about fear as being something to hold you back for your goals. Jealousy is just a scary emotion that's negative that surrounds so many of us when it comes to seeing other people reaching their goals quicker, and we become jealous. See, that's only going to hold you back because it's going to start making you think of yourself as somebody that can't measure up. That's not the case. The only reason why some people reach their goals quicker than you is because they've had, you know, potentially more experience up to now, and they're taking advantage of it with this incredible company. This company has all the tools that they were looking for maybe for 25 years in other adventures that they were on. And so for them, they're just hitting a home run because they aren't jealous. They're just doing it. They have no fear, and they certainly have no hatred for the company. They love the company. They love the opportunity. And that's the other emotion you have to be so careful that you don't get trapped with is this hatred thing. You know, don't hate on anybody inside the company or around this organization or any organization. It makes no sense. You can avoid them. You don't have to be in business with them. You don't have to be accountable to them. But that hatred can be an emotion that can hold you back in your goals. And the other one, of course, is revenge and greed. If you start thinking that you know, you've got to do something because somebody else did something and you want to show them, ha, 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 well, that's not going to do you any favors. You see, in the long run, this is all about, you know, you. And the way you're going to go about this is life isn't about me, it's about we. So if we can be successful here and remove our negative emotions, then the superstition that we have, the anger that we show, all of that will go away, and we'll start having the positive emotions inside these good habits Nancy's going to be continuing on here with. Because all of the things that are happening here, the bad habits?
I was talking about bad habits, yeah.
But you don't have any bad habits.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do. That's
Lots,
true. Yeah,
lots.
that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
But the key is, you know, desire, faith, enthusiasm, and hope. And I think hope is probably one of the biggest and best words that you can, you know, almost have anywhere you look. I hope with all my heart, you know, that I can help people. I mean, you should just desire that. You should want that with all your heart, that you can get people up and dreaming again. See, that's the hope I have for all of you on this Zoom tonight, is that, you know, tonight we can maybe touch a little bit on you to say, hey, 2019 is going to be an incredible year. I mean, Dave Jordan announced 4 new products before convention, as well as the Skinny Body Care products. So those 4 new products are going to be game changers, because I know of 2 of them. I'm missing 2. I don't know 2 of them. And I'm not going to tell you the 2 I do know, but I know that the 2 that we are going to be experiencing are going to be game changers. But, you know, Dave's not doing anything half-heartedly here. So anyways, back to bad habits. Nancy, I just wanted to fill in some emotional parts of it.
Another bad habit, multitasking. I know that we all think that we're multitasking, and Dawn is a big one on this multitasking. It doesn't actually exist unless one of the activities that you're doing is extremely passive. So you can multitask by actually texting some information to people like John Haremza did the other day when he was watching the football game, because one of those tasks was passive. If you do not have focus, then you're not listening and paying attention to the person in front of you, and you're not really going to get them into the relationship. And that's what we need to do. So the distractions have to be eliminated. So if you think that multitasking, unless one of those tasks is passive, like you can listen to a Valentis call while you're doing laundry. I do it all the time. One of those is passive. These things, doing laundry. See, Pete's all the way in New Zealand doing laundry or packing or doing. As long as one activity is passive, then you can multitask. But if you're trying to focus on somebody and give them your attention, don't do a three-way call and multitask as basically what I'm trying to say. Like, you want to give somebody your attention. Keep promises to yourself and to others. There's nothing more disappointing. And I said the person that you can never hide from is yourself. So that negative thinking, when you promise yourself that you're going to get to Diamond, and then you just start watching Game of Thrones and watch that back to back to back, there's nothing worse than disappointing yourself. So keep promises to yourself. Keep promises to yourself and keep promises to others. That's a really bad habit when you can't keep a promise to yourself. I know women do it all the time. We put ourselves last. We tend to try and get everything ready for our family, and we don't keep promises to ourselves, such as fitting in our workout or doing what we need to do to make us feel like we're going to be successful that day. Another bad habit is hanging around negative people. There is nothing more there's nothing more damaging to your business than being around negative people. I think that they need to be eliminated. Like, once they infiltrate my space, it's like, no. If I have somebody that's super negative that I'm talking to on the phone, and I'm not in the right mindset to handle that, I get off of that call right away, because you definitely do not need that. It's contagious. You need positive people around you. That's why we're having so much fun in our 90-90 challenge, because we're in there with some like-minded people that are all goal-oriented. We are all stepping outside of our comfort zones, and we are all actively doing something together. And that positivity is just as contagious as negativity. So if you've got like a negative mom or a negative spouse that's constantly negative, I'm not telling you to get divorced. I'm just telling you to create a block of negativity, because the best way that you can win that over is with your success. So just eliminate, and I'm not saying that you don't talk to your mom anymore. Just say, Mom, I'm really focusing on the new year on trying to have a lot of positive conversations. So can we start the new year by all of our conversations being positive? And I bet you the relationship that you guys will even have will be better. So it's just a positive way to change everything. And it's really important for your business to not have somebody telling you all the time that you're doing it wrong and everything that you do is wrong.
So if you're thinking about being positive, then you've got to give yourself the ability to remind yourself subconsciously of what's going to be needed of you to be positive. So I'm going to give you a couple of statements that I want you to fill in on your own. There's some basic kind of homework here to finish off your 2018, okay? And these are the things that are going to lead you to what we believe is going to be a really productive 2019. When you write these words down, you're going to come up with the end of them. And if you want to share it with Nancy and I, by all means, you can post it. And
it's for you.
It's for you, okay? But ultimately, today I choose to believe, and fill in the blanks. That's your first little statement you're going to write down. And you're going to fill in the end of that, whatever it means to you. Today I choose to believe. That's number one. The second one is, starting now I will. And what's the end of that? What positive statement can you fill that in with that you can start subconsciously talking to yourself morning and night? The third one is, what I most desire is. If you write that down and end it with a positive and put it in a place that you can read in the morning, you can read before you go to bed, these positive affirmations and positive statements to yourself will help your subconscious mind deliver on your goals. The fourth one is, I enthusiastically will. What? positive end to that statement. I enthusiastically will. The fifth one is I'm grateful for. So fill in the blanks. I'm grateful for what? What are you grateful for? Tell yourself that in the statement to yourself. This is a note to yourself to remind you of the positive emotions it's going to take for you to move forward to reach your goals. And the last one is I positively believe that. And what is it? Positively believe that I'm going to be a diamond by March the 27th in Henderson, Nevada, and I'm going to be at that diamond dinner. And you're going to write that down and you're going to stare at it every day. The point I'm making here is all of the training that I've done, pen to paper is the key. Having it in your head doesn't work. You have to write it down. If you write it down and put it somewhere, those basic 6 things. Today I choose to believe. Starting now I will. What I most desire is. I enthusiastically will. I am grateful for. And I positively believe that. And you fill those in and make them every day something you read. Everything I've read and everything I've done in my life moves you to that direction. That's what I believe.
And Don should specify that that's just creating positive emotions for you guys, right? Like that's going to help you. That's going to help ignite your imagination to get you to your goals. So like what we said, that you have to have well-rounded goals. You got to write them down. They have to be in alignment with your values. They have to be realistic. I mean, like I said, you got to go to stage A, B, C, right? If you're not at Emerald yet, then you have to get to Structured Emerald. That's a realistic goal. If you are getting to Structured Emerald already, then it is a realistic goal that you're going to be in Diamond. So I want everyone that's on here to actively want to be or objectively saying, I want to be Structured Emerald. And what is Structured Emerald? Maybe everyone on the call doesn't know what Structured Emerald is. Be specific is what we're saying. Your goals are going to only get there if you know the specifics. So you need how much volume, Don?
Well, you're going to need 5,000 on your left and 5,000 on your right with 500 of personal volume on one of your legs to be Structured Emerald. But to be Diamond, then you're going to need to specifically know what it is that it's going to need. You're going to need to do to get to Diamond. You're going to need to help 3 people get to Emerald.
Yes.
And you need to create the volume on the left and the right. And you're going to need to have personal volume of 1,500 in one of those legs. Maybe it's your team leg that you were brought into. Once you understand that, write them down and specifically lay out the timeline it's going to take you to get there. I have an Emerald today. I need 2 more. I'm going to get there by so-and-so if my 2 people are on loyalty for another 2 months because they've been on 6-box loyalty or they've been on 3-box loyalty. Oh my boy, I better call them and see if I can get them to step up to a 6-box and tell them the advantages of reaching Emerald. That's the specifics of your goals, understanding what it's going to take for you to get there. There's no point setting a goal, you will be Diamond by March the 27th, if you don't know what it's going to take to get there.
That's the specifics. And I think that that's a really essential part of what we're talking about here. I had somebody call me up that had gotten Structured Emerald. And so she had called me and she says, Nancy, what do I need to do to go Diamond? I said, what did it take for you to get to Structured Emerald? And she went through everything that it took to get to Structured Emerald. And I said, now you got to find someone in your team that is asking all the right questions and you need to get them to Structured Emerald. And then you got to do that a couple more times and Diamond is inevitable. And that's why we talk about you got to help others get the things that they need to get the things that you need. Because what you're going to do is if you help others get to the level that you've gotten to, then they're inevitably going to drive you to that next level. And that's where the specifics happen.
And they're going to duplicate because, you know, the end of the day, you can't go Diamond by yourself. Doesn't work. You are not all by yourself in this business. You've heard this from every leader that's ever been on any Zoom, any conference call, or on stage. It's about the other people. It's about helping them reach their dreams. It's about helping them get their emotions out of the way, both negative, and get their positive emotions in a way that can drive them to reach their goals. Help them establish their why, but help them specifically know why they have set that why, and then help them get to that why by setting the goals over a realistic period of time. And the thing that I believe in terms of goal setting is there's 3 words that I've used in my life all along: reachable, beatable, achievable. And you should write that down. Reachable, beatable, achievable. You know, ultimately, your goals, if you, as Nancy said earlier, set an unrealistic goal, then it is not reachable. So you need the goal to be reachable. So do I believe on December the 26th that going diamond by March 27th is reachable? Yes.
Because we've done it.
Because we've done it. It's reachable. Is it achievable? Absolutely. We've proved it. We've seen people do it in 26 days. We've seen people take a year. Doesn't matter. The point is, it is reachable, it is beatable, and it's achievable. Why do we want beatable? Because if you set a goal that is too unrealistic, then how are you going to beat it? But if you can get to diamond in February, then it was beatable. If you get to diamond in April or May, you're still going to be diamond in April and May, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're not a failure. The key, though, through all of this is reachable, beatable, achievable, and get your negative emotions out of the way, get your negative habits out of the way, and start thinking about positive, 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 and aligning yourself with a group of people that have your back. And I personally believe anybody in Valentis that's all in here has your back. I left that to you.
Oh, that was my segue.
Yes.
I think another really big thing too is mindset. I know for me, I was just in the wrong mindset. So I don't know if any of you guys saw when I came on here, I went and got myself some leftover Christmas chocolate. I had a chocolate over there. I had a chocolate and a glass of water, and automatically I felt a little better because there's sometimes you just need a reset. So if your mindset is off, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people, that's not the time to be doing your calls to your team. Make sure that your mindset is in a good place. And if that for you is listening to an amazing song that you like, or going out and doing some exercise, or whatever it is, when you're about to do some active goal setting stuff, make sure you're in the right mindset. Because if you're in the positive mindset and the right mindset, you're just going to be so much more effective at making those goals feel right. Because for me, I think that feeling has to be part of your goal too. I mean, when I talk about the specifics about the goals and the dreaming, when I talk to people about it, I say, if you envision yourself on a beach somewhere at the end of this journey, then really think about the salty air and the way that the water feels on your toes and the sand, and be specific, like visualize your goal entirely. And it is going to feel so much more to you. And it's way harder to give up something that you've smelt and felt and thought about than it, and for the watching Game of Thrones back to back to back to back, it's going to be a lot easier to plug into how you feel about that goal if you're specific about it.
Yeah, and from this point on, you should start logging your progress, each and every one of you. You should be keeping track of how you're feeling, the diary of your progress, so that you can look back and the times that you maybe falter a little bit and see what it was that you did the next day to get out of that fog. It could have been a conference call. And obviously, Thursday night we have a conference call. Saturday there'll be a training call. And for us, Sunday we'll do our getting started Sunday morning call, which will be the last call of 2018. We'll celebrate a little bit on Sunday morning for those of you that join us or listen to the call after. And, Monday, I think Dave's going to do a special New Year's Eve kind of a contest announcement for who won the trip to Vegas, as long as you've bought your ticket on the back of in your back office for the conference. Okay.
So and get to the event. If you are even thinking about whether you should be there or not, you're in the wrong mindset. You have to be there. You have to be there. If you can be there, it's going to change everything for you. I can guarantee you that events are magic, because that is where you can see the big vision. That is where you get to be in a room with like-minded people. That is where you get to feel everything that we feel. And we're going to have these new products, and it's going to be so exciting, and you absolutely have to be there.
What she said. Anyways, that's it for the night, folks. Just thought we'd just touch on ending 2018 on a positive note, helping you set some positive affirmation words for your subconscious mind, and